That's why you don't use toasters, you know.
Why would you use a toaster?
I don't know.
Not for that purpose. Holy cow.
I think we're live.
Hey.
Hey, everybody.
What's up?
Hello.
What's up?
I don't know.
Anybody here? Who's here?
We got like a drink mix, and then you put
Let's
it in
see.
the
I'm
water
going to
bottle.
take a look. Green Lantern HG and who else?
The water bottle won't seal. Then you start shaking it up, and all it does is start spraying water everywhere, no matter how much you try to get this lid back on. That's my life. I'm sorry. Jason was doing something important. Who's here?
Hammer Strikes and GLHG are both here, for what I could tell.
Oh, man, I've been hanging out with Hammer Strikes, our friend Gene, all day.
Gene,
All day. About the last hour. I've been
we
going
got Derek Wooden Crab as well.
Oh,
DWC.
Says, yo.
Yeah, he's
Hey,
cool.
everybody. Who's this? Shlee Loves?
Hello, my dudes.
My dudes.
Oh, that's the Duchess. What up, Duchess? That's Mark Hatherley's lovely wife, the Duchess.
Oh, wonderful.
The Duchess.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, milady.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do the queen wave.
There you go.
I wonder why that became a thing.
I don't know, man. It's kind of classy, though.
It is. And maybe we're just used to seeing classy people do it, and it became classy. That's how stuff happens in history a lot of times. Somebody actually thought about that, you know. If we were in the South, they'd be like, hey, y'all. Hey.
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 I think if we tried to come up with a wave, it just wouldn't work out. You know, it's like, no.
Veto that one. Veto that one. All right, yeah, so welcome everybody to the chat. Today's topic, as you can see on the screen, is the top 5 superheroes. I'm joined by Delvin the Dark Web Williams. You know, our little name tags go away when I put the
That's weird.
the banner on. I turn the banner off. They know who we are.
They know who we are. Yeah.
Of course, we have Delvin the Dark Web Williams and Jason the Weasel Skull Albrick. We will more than likely not be joined by punk out Pat Sampson today.
He got something to do with his, I don't know, wife, family, something. Guy's got to get his priorities straight.
Yeah, right.
Yes, GL. The one on the bottom is Delvin. You got it right. Often confused.
I do jujitsu a lot.
That reminds me. I recently, or Miranda and I recently watched Batman, Mask of the Phantasm.
It's a good one.
Movie.
Saturday, just bored, and old girl comes over to his house for the first time or whatever, and Batman's all like, "Whoa, whoa," and he's like, she's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Practicing jujitsu," and I'm like, "No, you're not."
You called it an animated character.
I don't know what that is. That is not jujitsu.
Started writing a letter to Bruce Timm.
I did.
Angry letters. Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
27 minutes and 42 seconds in, he is clearly not doing jujitsu.
As an upper level blue belt, that basically means I'm a genius at jujitsu.
Should be ashamed of your entire organization.
Worst movie ever.
Andrea Beaumont. I like that movie. I saw it on the big screen, man. It wasn't even out in theaters, but for like a week or two. But I managed to get there. Good movie.
When did it come out? Were you working at the movie theater at the time?
No, I was in high school. It came out in 93 or 94.
Yeah, really not long ago. Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, we aren't getting any younger. That's for sure.
Nope.
My mom sent me this year is, and it's Jared's too, our 25th anniversary from leaving high school. 25th.
30th.
What is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th? Yeah. Where does the time go? I don't know.
Heatherly 75 is in here.
That's my boy Mark Pinsler on the upcoming Shipwrecker comic book.
What is he doing here? Why isn't he penciling Shipwrecker comic?
Well, he can listen and draw at the same time. I assume that's what he's doing.
Yeah,
he's very good. I was having a conversation.
I'm actually drawing and talking. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm working on a Scorpion for Mortal Kombat book page sketch. It doesn't look like much now, but it'll get there. I promise.
Well, when you do, then people will be like, "Come here,
get over here, finish him." Yeah, that's what
and then
I
light you
should
on
tell
fire
you.
afterwards. Toasty.
Jared, finish it.
I'm trying. All right, let me pay attention and focus the show because today's topic is top 5 superheroes.
It is.
I brought my top 5. Delvin may or may not have brought his top 5.
I'm going to make it up as I go. So
Jason brought his top 5-ish. We'll guess at what Pat's top 5 are. And then as we're going around, I definitely want to hear from people in the chat because, of course, we're going to start at number 5 for each of us. Go around the horn. 4, 3, 2, 1. So
that's how we doing it. That's how we
gonna roll it.
Okay.
And because I'm me, I'm gonna keep track of the heroes and how often they come up and what ranking they got. And I might just let you guys know who the most popular aggregated hero is on today's show because that's how I roll. So get ready to tell us your favorite heroes in the chat. And as usual, feel free to ask questions of us. That doesn't have to be about today's topic. If you listen to our podcast, you know that this is your chance to interact. If you have questions that revolve around Action Film Face Off or Transformers Chronicles, Saturday Matinee Theater, Longbox Crusade, Crusader Chronicles, G.I. Joe Chronicles, Fan Film Fridays, Monday Movie Muckabout, the upcoming LBC Irregulars. Ooh, y'all didn't know about that, did you?
Wait,
I didn't know about that.
Another show?
Do I have more work to do?
I have almost finished editing the very first episode of LBC Irregulars, brought to you by Gene Hendricks. He is the host. I was the first guest.
What?
Yeah, we're watching that Jeremy Brett Sherlock Holmes, brother.
Quit making up shows. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a real thing, and you'll probably be a guest soon, so you better warm up to it.
Well, I just did my spot for the Monday Monthly Muckabout this morning for the movie that I hear that you had a hand in.
Oh, yeah, he did ask me for some ideas. I don't know what he ended on. May I guess, or is it a secret?
I don't think it's a secret.
Are you doing Alien?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Alien is a great movie, man.
Yeah, never seen it.
Kind of
never seen it?
No.
Delvin's not big on horror films either, so it's a horror film essentially.
Boy, oh boy!
But it's so good. I think you're gonna like it. I really do.
It holds up still.
It holds up. It does hold up. So anyway,
and Helica is here, and
Chris,
she's a
FBPO and Bad Books.
Her husband Andre is here too, aka Papa Wolf. Very
Papa
good.
Wolf's in here too.
I got the Wolf Pack rolling.
Got the whole Wolf Pack.
I love it.
Yes. Got Mama and Papa Wolf.
Nice.
Watch out! Some houses are about to get blown down over.
Well, like I said, be sure to chime in with us with your top 5 heroes as we move from our 5 to 1. Move along with us in the chat, and like I said, ask questions if you want to. If you have questions about shows or anything you want to ask us, this is our couple hours to chat with the fans and the friends. So let's do that. Let's do exactly that. So I guess we should start with everybody's number 5 superhero.
Number 5.
Number 5.
5 alive.
Number 5. And you know what? Let's start with Delvin. What is your number 5, sir? And why did you select it?
Let's see. Number 5 for me. I put a little bit of thought into it. I knew a couple that were going to be there.
I think he's putting a little thought into it. He's selling for time.
Not that you can see this, but here's my list of 5 already. Mother effer.
Hey, Courtney's here.
Like it's called build up.
That's called build up. That's right.
It's called build up. So my number 5 was Storm.
Oh, nice. Good pick.
I put Storm as my 5th pick, and I had a couple of reasons behind that. I almost put Black Panther, and I could justify Black Panther. I got a decent amount of Black Panther books in the collection, but I have a whole bunch more. That Ken came in just to stop in and
I saw that.
say goodbye, but we'll read his top 5 in a second.
I like that Dr. Fate there. Yeah.
But I thought about putting Black Panther, but I have so much X-Men, so much. And
right.
We've talked about Storm in particular because of Crusaders Chronicles. And to me, the character who stood out the most in the book so far and has just been a delight every time that I've read about her has been Storm. Andem dies, yes. Yes, but like just as a character. And then when I started looking at the classic X-Men that we're reading now, all the way up until today, Storm's character has taken a few turns here and there, but not really. Like you take Cyclops, and maybe in a way Cyclops hasn't changed, but Cyclops went from being almost that leader to almost a radical extremist of the X-Men to like almost being like the leader that no one likes. But somehow Storm has been that person who's been almost that same personality and everyone still loves her. And she is powerful and she is full of grace and dignity and just an overall awesome character. And of course, the X-Men as a whole usually are a group, but somehow by staying nearly the same for about 40-something years, she stood out and just been this awesome, majestic character. So Storm is my number 5.
Nice.
She's also very pretty.
She is. I could not even imagine if there were such a beautiful creature as Aurora Monroe in real life.
Pretty sure it's pronounced Oreo. Inside joke for Pat Sampson. He mispronounces it Oreo all the time on our recordings.
That is funny.
We got a question from GL said, if you had to guess, how many comics have you read in all? I can tell you I have over 13,000 comic books myself. So I'm going to assume somewhere in the neighborhood of, I don't know, 15,000 maybe?
Yeah, I got to be right there with Delvin.
Yeah.
That's probably a really good estimate.
Yeah, a whole lot.
Yeah. It's more than 10 and less than a million. That's where I'm going to bracket my target.
Bigger than a bread box, that's for sure.
Yeah, no kidding.
Bread box.
Hey, Courtney, Pat is he's spending some time with the family today. He wasn't feeling very well, and so he'll be back with us on the next live stream, I'm sure. But he's with us in spirit.
Yep. Plus, I think after Craig Zablo took over the network, he just removed Pat altogether. That's an inside joke from my live stream since John Beatty's here. Anyway, never mind. So number 5 for Delvin was Storm.
Storm.
All right. We're going to get to Jason in a minute, but anybody in the chat, I want you to drop your number 5 superhero and we'll give them shout outs. I saw some of you give us your whole list.
Courtney's was Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler for Courtney. Okay. I like that.
The Storm was number 5 for Chola as well while I was talking. So
okay. So yeah, so some of the chat gets by kind of fast as we try to keep up. So you definitely give shout outs to your number 5 in the chat. And as Jason's telling his, I'll throw yours up on the screen as he's revealing his number 5 pick, which I'm going to try to guess. Let's play action film face-off match game. Jason's number 5 is Jason. I think Jason likes Batman, but he's not top tier for Jason. So I'm going to say Batman's at number 5.
No, Batman's not at number 5 for me. Number 5 for me is kind of my radical choice is Lord Baltimore. I think he's doing the Lord Baltimore thing again.
I
like the character, man. Lord Baltimore is a cool character. I love the comic. I love the premise. I love the that it's set during World War I. I like that he's a World War I soldier fighting vampires, witches, werewolves, all that kind of cool stuff. It kind of just mixes and matches with a don't even Delvin.
I was like,
can I interrupt?
Sorry.
Lord Baltimore. Derek William Krabs' Richard Dragon is better. Let's just talk about Richard Dragon for a little while. I'm kidding. Go ahead. There's probably a lot of our watchers and listeners probably don't know much about Lord Baltimore. So seriously, let them know what it's all about.
All right. So Lord Baltimore is a character created by Christopher Golden and Mike Mignola. And Lord Baltimore is a World War I officer who, during a battle, encounters vampires and is gravely wounded by a vampire, but manages to kill one of them and thus becomes an enemy to this vampire nation, this underworld. The vampires, in revenge, take out his family, his fiancée, and he becomes... he starts this quest for vengeance and becomes kind of this soldier. The actual title is the Steadfast Tin Soldier. And he begins this war against the forces of darkness and evil. And he kind of assembles a motley crew of allies along the way. And it's just, it's good. It's a lot of action. It's a lot of supernatural horror. And it's a character that I've just kind of grown to love over the years. So Lord Baltimore comes in. It's my number 5.
Yeah, there was a lesser known hero that grew up nearby called Lord Linthicum. You know what? A Maryland joke. Never mind. It just happened to be in the area there. This Maryland humor not doing anything for
your topical geographical humor is not today.
I tried, batting average down to 997 now.
Well, okay, there you have it, Lord Baltimore. I think that's a Dark Horse book.
Yes,
okay.
Dark Horse book. Yep.
Some of the 5s that we saw in the chat while you were doing that, we saw Deadpool, Jack Tenrick from Xenozoic Xenotales, the Hulk and Hal Jordan showed up. Richard Dragon, I love that choice. I love Richard Dragon. Not that none of these choices are bad, but I particularly like Richard Dragon.
I hope Green Lantern HG says got my interest. I hope that was directed towards me. I hope I got somebody interested in Lord Baltimore.
We got a shout out to the original Robin and some discussion about Papa Wolf Captain. Oh, okay. Papa Wolf's number 5 is Captain Planet.
The Planet Tears.
All right. Well, let me not cheat and use my pre-written list here. Coming in at number 5, you might know him as the Sentinel of Liberty. It is Captain America. Steve Rogers is my number 5. And let me tell you, this list was tough.
Yeah.
I talked to Jason on the phone earlier today, and I told him it's kind of like my top 5 James Bond movies, and that you could kind of shake them up at any moment, and any one of these 5 could be my number 1. And that certainly stands true for Cap. I love Captain America. I think clearly it comes from being the son of a soldier, raised in a very patriotic household, and then becoming a military member myself, and Jason serving the military, Delvin serving the military. Like, we all have these strong military connections, and that's what I find so appealing about Captain America. First of all, I just like his patriotism and the fact that he is a soldier, and of course, he's not overpowered. He's actually kind of underpowered when you think about who he pals around with on the Avengers. But that's what makes him so great. He doesn't have a ton of power, but he's got great leadership. He's just an awesome leader and a good dude. So yeah, I respect the heck out of that. And apparently somehow I got on John Beatty's list.
Yeah, I don't know how he got on John Beatty's list.
Well, because I know he's John's like number 1. But you got to remember, he made my top 5. All right, he's on the list. So, and he could be my 1 at any given moment. But I'm starting out with Captain America. Steve Rogers, I salute you.
Freedom prevails.
John's trying to guess. He's saying that Robin is my number 1. There might be something along those lines in there, but not at number 1. So there we go. There's our first round, which is our top 5s, which consisted of Storm, Lord Baltimore, or the 10-hearted. Is it 10-hearted soldier? 10 soldier?
It was the Steadfast Tin Soldier.
Steadfast Tin Soldier, and Captain America. So there you have it. And we got a lot of great number 5s from people in the chat. Excellent. I'll take this break as we're going from 5 to 4 to remind everybody that, of course, we're going to give away some stuff today. I've got a DVD giveaway for people in the chat today.
So get that bed made up, son.
Yeah, this bed is janky right now. Jason will be sleeping in there tomorrow night.
It's my landing zone
right there is where Jason will be tomorrow night, everybody. But anyways, I've got a DVD giveaway. So if you want to win the DVD for being in the chat today, just put "Give me that DVD" in the chat, and I'll do my best to keep up with that on my notepad as well. So give me that DVD. We'll get it for you. We'll obviously give that away at the end of today's episode. It's a superhero-oriented movie. I can't remember which one I pulled out. It's over there. Yes, I remember. A little bit offbeat. I'll give you a hint. It stars Sean Connery.
Is it Zardoz?
It might be Zardoz. I don't know.
It was my guess.
It's got Sean Connery in it. Oh, it was his last live-action film, too.
Is it a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
It just might be.
Rule Britannia.
Courtney's in on that. Gotcha.
GLHG wants to know what's the best comic event.
Ooh, we can talk about that during our break between 5 and 4 for sure.
Yeah.
Best comic event. I gotta tell you, the first one that springs to mind often is maybe the correct answer. I was quite involved in the whole Bruce Wayne murder event.
Ooh.
That one really got me wanting to run to the comic book shop every Wednesday to get the next chapter. And unfortunately, I think there was a bit of a fizzle because it was one of those things where Delvin and I would talk about it, and Delvin put forth a theory that I really liked, and then the actual answer was not as good as Delvin's theory. So it's like one of those. It's like there's a bunch of fan theories about how Harry Potter was going to end in book 7, and about half the fan theories I like better than how it actually ended, type of a deal.
Particularly given that who they said was the ultimate person, it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, the person was supposed to be smaller than Batman and everything, and then it turned out to be it was Kane, right?
Kane, the same size guy as Batman.
Yeah, same size dude. Like, nope, that doesn't even fit the theory that they had put out. They laid out all these clues, and then they made it lead to something that didn't make sense.
But I want to give credit where it's due, though, for just bat events. And I know I'm kind of copping out of the question, Gio, but just bat events, just kind of starting with Nightfall to Night's Quest to Night's End to Cataclysm to No Man's Land to Bruce Wayne Fugitive. I mean, that's just a run of solid events, in my opinion. Clearly, the best event ever was Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars. John's still in the chat.
I was going to say that. I mean, that's my personal favorite. Is it the best one? Maybe not, but
it is
great. But it is great. No yeah. And it's one of those that I still pick up and read every once in a while. It's like, if I just went like, this was a fun story.
Is there anything special about the copies that you read?
I have some signed copies. Yes. Yeah.
But thanks to Mr. John Beatty.
Thanks to Mr. John Beatty. Yeah, I don't read those though. Those are I've got ones that I read over and over, and then I've got those ones that I have specially displayed.
Taking care of it. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. So yes, I have two sets of Marvel Superhero Secret Wars. But I also like X-Men's Endangered Species. I thought that was a good run. Fatal Attractions was fun back in the 90s. But yeah, I have to say, if I'm going just from nostalgia and what makes me feel good, Marvel Superhero Secret Wars. I don't care. Open fire, everybody. I don't care. I'll take it.
No, it's a good series.
One that popped to my head relatively recently was the Superior Spider-Man storyline. That was Dan Slott's creation, where they kind of popped it on people. They were like, yeah, big event's coming, but they didn't lay a ton of groundwork. And then all of a sudden, Peter Parker is visiting a dying Otto Octavius, at the vault, like in the middle of nowhere, and Otto was kind of like, like, dude, I'm about to die. Like, I'm wasted away. It's like, how about showing me who you are? And Spider-Man was like, you know what? Sure. Why the heck not? And then sure enough, Otto ambushed him and basically did this mind swap where he put Peter Parker into Otto's dying body and Otto took over Pete's. And that started a storyline that lasted about 3 years where they came out with the book Superior Spider-Man. And you just kept thinking like, well, wait, how are they going to get Pete back? What is going on here? This is crazy. And it was a very well done storyline. And anytime that they give a writer that leeway where something crazy happens and they don't screw it up too bad and they let them come back to it, it's fantastic. Like, unlike, say, the Clone Saga. Clone Saga so much. This one was very, very, very well done. And so much so to the fact that Superior Spider-Man is still around today.
Superior Spider-Man. Good question, GLHG. That should take it. Let me check my DVDs. Got Courtney and
got Courtney right now. Gene wanted to, but then he says he's a new member of a network for some made up show that I don't know about.
It's called LBC Irregulars.
Yeah, it's irregular, all right. We ain't ever seen it, so it's pretty irregular.
I'm this close to finishing the final production on the first episode. I was at about minute 28 of a 30-something minute show. I got some cool stuff to share with you, Gene. Anyways, Gene said he liked Acts of Vengeance.
Ooh,
Vengeance,
yeah.
That was good.
Derek says they adapted the Superior Spider-Man angle into the second season of the Spider-Man cartoon. That'd be the way for me to watch it right there. That's pretty cool. They did it in 4 episodes. All right. Oh, why can't they do that as a movie? Good call, Duchess. That would be a good movie.
Interesting, yeah.
Chola wants that DVD. And Chola, I want to say thank you for ordering a copy of Hamilton versus Burrow Werewolf Tale, available on my website, theyardsaleartist.com. I got that sent out last week on Thursday or Friday, so it's heading your way.
Yeah, and I was in the room where it happened.
It's funny. Somebody just gave a shout out. Oh, it was Chola for the DVD. Okay, Chola. All right. I guess it's time to reveal our number 4s. That's a 4.
It's a 4.
What's that, Delvin?
I went first. I'm not used to going first.
Yeah, you can roll it again this time if you want, man. What you got for number 4?
Do you want to do it in a different order? I'm cool with that.
Fine. Jason, number 4.
Well, my number 4 is what you guessed is my number 5.
Batman.
Yep.
All right. I was
Dark
close.
Knight. In full disclosure, I don't read DC as religiously as I've read Marvel growing up, but I've always gravitated towards the Batman comics, and Batman was kind of one of the first characters that got me into comics. And I think I've told this story before, but I'll say it again. When I was about 5-6 years old, and Jared was born, my mom's friend bought me this Batman comic that I just read over and over and over again. And I just, I thought that it was exciting. It was dangerous. It was, Batman has to rely on, well, he's got billions of dollars, so that's good. That helps out. But
it's always a plus.
But really, I mean, he relies on his brains and his fighting skills and his acrobatic skills that he's developed, through discipline and training. And I just always thought that was something that I could relate to way more than somebody that was, born on another planet and then comes here and all of a sudden has these powers, or, is born with mutant powers or what have you, bitten by a radioactive spider, whatever. Just somebody.
Easy now, easy, sir, easy.
No, I mean, I'm not gonna throw shade at your number 1. I love Spider-Man too. That's.
How do you know what his number 1 is?
I just know. I looked. He showed it to me on his phone. But yeah, so I'm going to settle in Batman for my number 4.
Well, looky there.
Chola. Yeah.
Chola's got it. Batman at 4. Papa Wolf, it says Deadpool is at number 4. Aquaman for the Duchess. We got a Nightwing Supergirl combo from the Hammer Strikes household. Punisher, GLHG. Ghost Rider from DWC.
Which Ghost Rider? All of them? All the Ghost Riders?
Courtney went with Jean Grey.
Oh, Jean Grey's a good one. Yeah.
Very cool. Let's hear some more of those top 4s from folks in the chat. Don't be shy. While I reveal to you that my number 4 is, I'll give you a hint, much like last time. This character can spin a web of any size.
Venom.
Is correct. It is Venom. No, I'm kidding. It's Spider-Man. I have Spider-Man at my number 4. I will give you all a hint as to what's coming on my list. Spider-Man is my very favorite number 1 Marvel character. So there will not be any more Marvel characters on my list. I'm sorry to say a Daredevil was chomping at the bit to get on my list, but didn't quite make it. I like Colossus and I like Cyclops and all those guys, but coming at number 4 is Spider-Man from my last Marvel character. And of course, I like Spider-Man because, he's a lot of fun and he's kind of like the palate cleanser comic before there was palate cleanser comics. It was always sort of a fun, breezy read, as we've learned on Crusader Chronicles, where we've gone all the way from the mid to the late 70s now. And it's just been very enjoyable. Every once in a while, they do that dark thing, Kraven's Last Hunt, and every once in a while they kind of try to put him in league with Batman, and it always feels a little weird.
Yeah, it does feel
when
weird.
they do. But I like him better when he's fun and airy and just lighthearted Spidey. So Spidey is at my number 4.
It's a 4.
It's a 4. And I'll catch up with the chat as we roll over to Delvin. We've got a Wonder Woman for 4.
That's good. Good one.
There's
Those
your
were the
answer.
Ghost Riders. I asked Derek.
So he likes them all.
Johnny Blaze, Danny Ketch, Robbie Reyes. All the Ghost Riders.
Got another Batman 4 from my
Johnny
boy
Blaze
Mark.
Not Afraid to Die. Oh, wait, that's Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Chris, yes, you're correct. He catches thieves like flies. And there we have it. That catches us up in the chat. So Delvin, round us out with your number 4.
Well, we've already talked about them. My number 4, and I agree with Mark. This list is too difficult.
It is really difficult.
I did some looking and moving around, and I'm glad I had to get him on the list because he's probably my favorite DC character, and that's Batman. Batman's my guy. That had to be the first DC comic that
Match game, by the way, for you.
Yeah, that had to be the first DC comic that I collected, and I still collect it to this day. The storyline that's going on right now actually has me super intrigued. I've mentioned in some shows that we've had recently that I'm a little bit bored with the Bruce Wayne character, but they've set up a pretty good storyline right now that's leading into this thing called Joker War, and hopefully it delivers because the build up to it was fantastic. And I don't know if anyone has the DC Unlimited app and wants to, so I won't spoil the story for you. But if you want to go read the story, James Tynion crafted it using the term palate cleanser. Tom King did an 85-issue run, and then Tynion came on with just this fast, action-packed storyline that's just been fantastic so far. So Batman's my number 4. He would be my favorite DC character.
Na.
Batman. I like Catman.
All right.
There is a Catman, of course.
There is a Catman.
From Secret Six. I've read a little bit of Catman.
I read a little Catman too. Catman 2?
Catman 2.
Go with the Catman 2.
Hey, that reminds me. I got a joke for you guys. What's something you can buy at the comic book shop and at the Foot Locker athletic apparel store?
10
10 issues.
Tennis shoes.
Tennis shoes. Tennis shoes.
And that's the show, everybody.
We got 3 more rounds.
Join us for doing a live stream over on YouTube.
Second Sunday of every month.
We always start at 3:30 Central Time.
Tennis shoes, guys. You can buy tennis shoes.
Tennis shoes.
The comic shop and the.
Don't forget to subscribe so you can get notifications for when we go live.
You know what? I hear you guys mocking me, but you're going to use that joke in the future. I know you are. I know you are.
Probably will with my son. Yeah.
You know the rules. I'll lie. I'll say I made it up. You know.
Maybe not that joke. It gets full attribution. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Well, that rounds it out for our number 4 heroes. We have Batman, and Spider-Man between the 3 of us. So those are some pretty good heroes. Interesting to see how these things progress, but we'll just remind everybody that we do have a DVD giveaway today. If you want to win the DVD, just give me that DVD in the chat.
Give me that DVD.
Give me that DVD, and we'll put you in for the raffle. Right now, I just have Courtney and Chola, so 50-50 on whether or not you win that DVD.
Just need to flip a coin at this point.
Really? Yeah. Courtney's using my jokes in the chat already. Excellent. All right. So give me that DVD if you want it. We just finished round 4. We're going to move in round 3, which I guess I'll kick this one off. Hero number 3. And don't forget to sound off with your number 3 heroes in the chat while we're doing this so we can take a look at what you've got. All right. Number 3. Mr. John Beatty said that I would have Robin at my number 1. I don't, but at number 3, I have a former Robin. Who is it?
Nightwing.
It is Nightwing.
Loaded like a freight train.
Nightwing is my number 3 hero. Really like him a lot. Really like what they did with him once the Chuck Dixon, Scott McDaniel arc took over in the late 90s. Love that series. Love how they kept him in the Bat universe, but didn't try to make him Bruce Wayne Jr. They basically took the fun-loving personality of Spider-Man and mixed it into the Bat universe and gave us Nightwing. And I just think that Dick Grayson is kind of awesome as a person, as a leader of the Teen Titans. You know, I gravitate towards leader characters. We also have Captain America on my list earlier. And just a great, fun read and a good welcome breath of fresh air to the Bat family. So that is why I have at number 3, Nightwing. Delvin. And I'll post some of these real quick.
I wish I had somewhere that I could have put Nightwing on my list. He doesn't appear on mine. I have a poster of the dang man on my wall that's not coming down anytime soon because that poster is awesome. DC as a whole, you know, at this point, you have Dick Grayson, who was a Robin. You have Tim Drake, who's a Robin. You have Jason Todd, who is a Robin. And now Damian Wayne. The 4 main Robins, anyway. There was Stephanie Brown as well. But the 4 main ones, and they're all distinct. And you would think since they had donned basically the same costume that they could have done something, I don't know, could have had them basically cookie cutter, and each one of them has their own distinct personality. So DC's done a really good job with that.
That they have. So who's your number 3?
Sorry.
We know it's not Nightwing.
We've eliminated Nightwing.
We've eliminated Nightwing.
Well, you know what? Before you go, I've been putting them on the screen. I'll give them quick shout-outs.
Okay.
Captain America and Cyclops from the Wolf Pack.
Good ones.
Spider-Man. Superman. Swamp Thing. The Flash. Oh, not that Flash. Cap and Batgirl. And Lady J from G.I. Joe and Iron Man. That's the most interesting tie I've ever heard. And welcome to the show, Rick Heineken. We're doing our top 5 superheroes. We need to know what your number 3 is. But before we find out what yours is, let's find out what Delvin's is. Go ahead, Delvin.
Yeah. Mine isn't even a human, so there's that.
Not a human, you say?
Martian Manhunter.
I do say.
It's not Martian Manhunter.
No, I know it's not Martian Man.
Superman?
No. I mean, I wouldn't say that Superman would consider himself human, even though he's from Krypton.
He's a dirty alien. He's a dirty alien. I'm the only Lex Luthor fan out there.
Well, I would thought that you would have known because, like, anytime I see you drawing pictures, you draw him all.
Oh, you went outside of the typical superhero realm, just a step outside, and went with the primest of Optimuses, didn't you?
Optimus Prime.
Prime
is my number 3.
Freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
Absolutely, he's awesome. There's like in some way or the other, I've always had an affectation for Optimus Prime. As
you put Captain America in a robot body. That's
he's the person that always makes the right decision, even if it's hard, even if it's at his own personal sacrifice to a fault almost. Like you almost that is how you want a leader to act nearly at all times, even though you see very, very few people that would ever be able to pull it off. And the one thing that I always remember from his tech specs is they said that if he were a more ruthless leader, he would be more efficient. But then again, he wouldn't be Optimus Prime. And I'm like, like, they broke the mold when they came up with this character, just from the name to how he has been treated. There's a reason that
they broke the Matrix. Yep.
Yeah, they broke the Matrix. There cannot be another Prime. Rodimus Prime absolutely does not count.
No
love for Rodimus. Okay.
I like GLHG though. He guessed that yours was Alf.
Killed me.
Good laugh. Good Alf laugh. I like that.
Come here, you cat.
Well, let's get Cat caught up on Rick Heineken. He went with Lightspeed, Superman, and Kate Pryde. Kate Pryde is Kitty Pryde's sister.
Older sister?
I should know Lightspeed.
I don't know who's getting booed, but William Crabb just booed somebody.
Help me out, Rick. Who's Lightspeed? Guys, who's Lightspeed?
Yes, and he's fast. That's made up.
I can accept that.
It actually sounds familiar, but I am drawing a blank.
I think Lightspeed is one of the new gods.
Prepare for ludicrous speed.
Lightspeed from Power Pack.
Right. I knew it sounded familiar.
Okay.
One of the powers.
That's right.
Give me a beat.
Wait.
We got a little show called Power Pack. Rick's in the front and Jeff's dead in the back. We got a lot of practice at this.
Oh, Derek was booing me, by the way. He said Rodimus Prime forever.
Oh, you found that guy. Hey, if I could be pro Lex Luthor, he could be pro Rodimus Prime. Oh my goodness. So all right. That all we got left is Jason's number 3.
My number 3 I share with GLHG. It's ASM, Amazing Spider-Man, Peter Parker. Once again, this is a character that I grew up with, one of the very first comics that I remember reading. And when I say reading, like actually being engaged as a young kid to read the words, to read the story, to try to understand what was going on. And, and it stuck with me through adolescence. It was, as kind of a shy, quiet, skinny kid, it was comforting to read Peter Parker and Spider-Man and their adventures and how it's kind of grounded in the real world. And I think, if you think about, well, you know what I always say on Crusade is humor, heart, spectacle, and art. Amazing Spider-Man has delivered in all 4 of those categories throughout his entire history. So I will comfortably name him as my number 3 hero.
I like that. Like it. Who's got questions?
Rick is flipping out because we did not recognize Lightspeed.
Nobody knows who Lightspeed is.
And Gene did not help us by saying his daughter just ran into the room and yelled, "That was Julie Powers' quirk." I happen to know, like, hearing the word quirk, it reminds me, I just finished reading. A buddy of mine sent me My Hero Academia.
Heard of it.
And
my son is really into it. Yeah.
I heard of the cartoon, which I might have to start watching because after reading volume 1 of the book, that the premise of the book is 80% of the people on planet Earth have superpowers, which were called quirks. And it starts out with a young man who does not have powers, who winds up coming into his own. It's been very good. I enjoyed it. I never have really gotten much into the anime, and I was glad that it was shared with me.
Yeah, my son is really into that, and so we've been watching that together. So I've seen the first season and into the second season, and it's a good story. It's got a lot of heart.
Does it have spectacle?
Yeah, it's got spectacle too, and art.
All right, we got a show. We got a show. I love anime. She makes wheat cakes for Peter.
That's Aunt May.
Oh, all right. All right. Well, GLHG's got us for another question for the break as we move from number 3 to number 2. The question is, you could have a superpower, what would it be? Delvin, you look like you have an answer.
I don't know.
My first instinct would be to win every Halley trophy, but I already have that power, so I gotta think of something else.
Well, that's yours. Moving on.
No, I've got that. I need a new power. I'll tell you what. Ever since I was a kid, I've always liked. I always thought the Flash had a cool power set. I always thought it'd be really cool to just go super fast like the Flash. And I know that's limiting because you could be like Superman and get a whole bunch of powers, but I don't want to cheat. I want to stick to one, so I'm gonna go super speed. Delvin,
probably telepathy.
That's enough. Jason, wait. Do it again. Delvin, give me your line again.
Probably telepathy.
Knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah, I knew that.
Third take. All right, Delvin.
Probably telepathy.
Yeah. So you like the telepathy, not necessarily the telekinesis. Man, I don't know if I'd want to know what's in people's minds all the time, man.
I'll tell you one person that I would really like to know what's going on in her mind right now.
You'd have to learn how to filter it. There is that. That's for sure.
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
Yeah, the powerful telepaths like a Jean Grey, like a Charles Xavier, it is a sense that they, it's always in the background, but they can lower the volume on and stuff. So I like the idea of being a telepath.
Oh, there's definitely a lot of advantages to it, but man, I would be afraid. I know enough about other people via social media. I wouldn't want to be in there.
That's almost like being telepathic. Right?
I'm just like, I'm good.
Some people just cannot filter themselves on social.
Yeah, you'd have to be really good. You have to be a Professor X level filter to get away with that.
Yeah, So let me qualify that. Alpha level, definitely.
All right, I didn't see that coming. I did not see the Well, for the joke, I did, but I did not predict that. Interesting.
What did you think I'd say?
I don't know. I just didn't see telepathy. I was thinking maybe flight,
spider sense,
the agility, the strength, the
spider sense would be a cool one to have. It worked very well in jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Spider sense would be sweet. That's underrated. That's
Yeah.
like
Would it-
that's like a
I
form
mean,
of telepathy without all the downsides. It's like,
Well, I mean,
oh, I'm in
would-
danger.
Would spider sense work well for you in jujitsu? Because I mean, if you're like sparring against somebody, or if you're in competition against somebody, it's like, do you really need the spider sense to know they're gonna try to whoop your ass? I mean, you know it's coming. You don't need a
Well,
spider sense, right?
You can sense where it's coming from.
That's
Like,
right.
don't ask questions, Jason.
It's Delvin's draft.
Oh goodness! I
All
could
right.
have
Jason.
used that spider sense back in 2012. But
Jason. Oh, we got to make it through. Jason, what's your superpower?
man, I think that I would like Wolverine's healing ability.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think that would be very that'd be something useful to have. I'd go out. I wouldn't have to worry about this coronavirus BS. I would just be like, whatever, man. I heal.
Yeah. I once had someone ask me what superpower I would take if there was a zombie apocalypse, and that's what I went with. I'd be like, well, I'd be Wolverine.
Yeah, I mean,
You ain't getting me.
Yeah, you get me, but my healing ability fights off your infection. You know, that's. I just thought that you know, I'd save tons of money on doctor's bills because I'd be like, I know I'm healthy.
Well, like, you know what? It would be good, but you better watch out for high fructose corn syrup.
Really?
Apparently, that, you know, everyone's favorite move in Logan. That's what happened to all the mutants. I killed by freaking poison high fructose corn syrup. Like, really? Really? This is everyone's favorite movie? I'm sorry.
I don't remember them getting killed by fructose.
I don't remember.
That was the whole thing, that they wiped out the mutant populations, they isolated the mutant gene, and they freaking put something in the freaking corn syrup, and they all ate it and started dying off.
What?
Huh, I don't remember that part.
I don't remember that either.
The hell movie did you go see?
How is this a detail of a movie I remembered?
I don't know.
You
I don't
guys
like
did?
I don't like it when you remember things from movies. I
Yeah.
That seems improbable.
don't like it.
I'm wondering if you made this up.
Yeah.
Man. I'm like,
No.
I'm at
Gaslighting us.
50-50. Like, did I miss something? Or
Is he messing with us right now?
It's one of the main reasons that I like. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, I love that movie. It was so gritty." I'm like, "Was it?"
Logan was
All
an
right.
awesome movie, man.
All right, since we're way off topic, I do want to say this about Logan. I liked it a lot, but the one thing I can't let go is just the unceremonious death of Charles Xavier. Spoiler if you haven't seen it. But it was like, I was like, you know, he got stabbed, and I was like, he's gonna do something very heroic and burn out like a bright star at the end. And it was like, oh, Logan, I'm sleepy. Like, what? Professor X shouldn't have been done like that.
Well, he got did like that.
He did. I was like, that's so unceremonious for this guy who's given so much.
They just went over the top trying to make this really sad movie that everyone got the sad and everything, and it's just like, I don't know.
I thought there was great hope at the end, though. I mean, I liked Laura, the X-23 or whatever.
I was
X-23
pleasantly
was awesome.
surprised.
She was.
X-23 was awesome.
Yes, because I was like, oh, you know the old adage, kids ruin movies. And I was like, oh, here we go. We're gonna put a kid in here. But they were brilliant. They're like, first of all, she won't talk for 75% of the movie. I'm like, that's a good way around that.
Yep.
And then she was legit awesome. And I was just like, oh, I like this. I like this. So yeah, I did like her. Welcome to our Logan review show.
The Logan Crusades.
The Logan Crusades. I'll tell you what, since we're on the off the rails break right now, to all of our listeners and viewers right now, if you happen to be a fan of the Longbox Crusade and you're not a Crusaders Club member, you can go to patreon.com/Longbox Crusade, and for as little as $1 a month, you can join. But I'm not even here to give you the commercial that Jason can't, he can't. Never mind. No, Jason, you just tune out for a minute.
Okay.
I think we're currently at 29 patrons. And I say if we get to 32, because I like that number 32.
It's magic.
Delvin and I have agreed to this. You guys are the first. This is the first that's being announced. There'll be an official announcement on the Twitter and the social medias later. But Delvin and I have agreed that we will both watch the Star Wars Holiday Special, because neither one of us have ever seen it. So if we get 3 more patrons and we get to 32 patrons for as little as $1 a month, we will both watch it and do a complete review show on it for the network. Of course, since it's patrons, we'll give it to the patrons first. You guys will get it months in advance of anybody else, and then we'll go public with it later. But yes, we will. That's our dedication to our patrons. We will watch the Star Wars Holiday Special. I've never seen it. Delvin's never seen it. We're going to watch it, and we haven't decided whether we'll do it Mystery Science Theater style and watch it live, or if we'll just do a review show, but we will suffer for that $1 a month.
Something's going to happen.
Something's
going to happen.
What, can we get $1? Can we get $1?
Can we get $1? So
Rick had a very pertinent question you should put up on the big screen.
What is it? Are you a member? Oh, okay. They still won't let me be a member. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is.
Look, we're waiting for you to do that thing with your face. Like, once you take care of that,
I don't know what that means. Gene asks, with or without the riff tracks. I was unaware there was a riff tracks for the holiday special, but we'll go all in. We'll go all in, and we'll watch it without riff tracks. We will watch it. Just Delvin and I will sit down and watch that thing. Like I said, we may live stream it. I mean, we can't live stream the film because I'm sure it's copyrighted by somebody, but we can watch it off camera and just react, or we can do a review show. We can just watch it separately, get together and do a review podcast episode, and with our unfiltered feelings about it. So that would be the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Rick, I don't have my club card. I don't get any discounts for Jared's online store. I get nothing extra. Nothing.
There you go. There's the scroll at the bottom. 3 more patrons. When we hit 32, we will do that, and we will release that episode strictly to our patron sponsors. Well, or I should say early, because we'll probably eventually release it to the general public, but you'll get it at least months in advance before anybody else gets it. So
Derek says there will be suffering.
I believe it. I've heard that what we're in for.
I tried watching it like last year. They were playing it on YouTube, and I was like, "Oh, let me try watching this again." I was like, "Oh my god!"
Well, here's GLAC. Basically, make you suffer for $1. Kind of people who we think we are, and I suspect that right now he's at Patreon.com. /Longbox Crusade.
I'm totally willing to suffer for $1.
Oh, Rick. Bummer, man. It's a great reward. You should join.
I know, Rick. I know. It's a great deal.
Anyway, that's just a little sneak preview for you guys who are watching today. We'll put something out on social media. I'll probably put together a little video for it. But yeah, you're the first to know. So if you're, been on the fence about it, go drop that $1 in. Once we hit 32, Delvin and I will do the episode.
I guarantee you'll get your $1.
Well, Delvin and I will try to drag it out for at least 2 months so we get $2 out of everybody.
Yeah, that can we do. Did you leave a review yet? We need reviews too.
Yes. Somebody write some reviews, man. Come on.
Well, positive reviews.
Yeah.
Great. Anyways, with all that out of the way, we'll talk more about that, I'm sure, in the future. Let's get to our number 2 heroes. And I can't remember who went first last time. I think it was me. So I think we're back to Delvin.
And let me double check again on my number 2.
While he's checking on his number 2, you folks in the chat, don't forget to put your number 2s in the chat. We want to know your number 2 superhero. So give them in the chat. We give shout outs. And Delvin's about to give us his. And Rick wants us to know that he paid cash money for his VHS copy of the Star Wars Holiday Special.
You, sir, are a true fan.
That's right. All you got to do is convince Jeff to come off of $1 a month. And we'll be one step closer to Delvin and I watching it.
Back then, it wasn't even called Cash Money. It was called Wampum.
You're always up with the street lingo, with street toughs and all that.
The dark web, just pulling it down, bringing it to the show.
The dark web. The little does Delvin know it connects to a computer that was built in 1954.
So why it makes that sound every time he comes on.
All right. Let's kick off some of these number twos. With the
Silver
Surfer. Cyclops. Wonder Woman. And Michelangelo. That's a cool pick.
Nice.
Nothing wrong with the other picks, but that's so left field. Superman is number 2 for both the members. And we've got the Dark Knight for Chris at BTO Bat Books. Let it roll down the highway. We got Superman from the Duchess. Green Lantern. Well, GLHG's second place is Green Lantern, so I can't wait to hear what's first.
I think number 1 is also Green Lantern.
Ooh, question before you go, Delvin. My number 2 is a brother and sister duo. Is it the Wonder Twins?
Wonder Twins.
Ooh, well, we'll find out about that while Delvin tells us his. What's yours, Delvin?
My number 2 is Captain America.
Freedom prevails.
Freedom prevails. I'm a fan of what he represents. Without jumping too far into political anything, the reason why I feel Captain America is a patriot is because he fights for the ideal of what America is. And that's not always pretty. Like America, just like any long-standing institution, has its things that it should be immensely proud of, has its things that maybe he shouldn't be so proud of. And Captain America is the one who stands there, sentinel that he is, and he defends all of it. And sometimes that puts him at odds with the law. Sometimes that puts him in an unpopular spotlight as far as the hero community goes, but he always in the end stands for what's right. And that's something that I really admire and respect. I adore the heck out of Steve Rogers, Captain America.
I agree. And I want to chime in there because I've said this on social media before, and I'll say it here as well. I think the greatest thing about Captain America is, again, not to dive deep into politics, but you can have two readers of Captain America that come from two different ends of the spectrum and both feel represented by that man. And that is cool, that one character can encapsulate kind of all of us. And I think that's pretty neat. If the writer's doing it right. It's really up to the writer. But, I've read a ton of Captain America, and I've never read one where I was like, boo this,
Well, they probably from about the mid-90s on, Marvel, Cap has had its run. Stan Lee originally came up with the character. Then after, the big war stuff ended, then he kind of got bored. He's like, I'm kind of out of ideas with Cap. And so
he capped out.
Yeah, he capped out. And then why am I blanking on the very awesome writer that came? Englehart. Steve Englehart came on with just incredible storyline. Sal Buscema as well. And then it went through a kind of lull of Mark Gruenwald, who's probably lasted on the book just a little bit too long. And then Mark Waid from about mid-90s on, just with these spectacular storylines. And sometimes it just makes it's off track, of course, but it's okay. We're allowed. A few years ago, they canceled Thor because they were like, we're slap out of ideas.
It's a tough one to come up with ideas for.
On Thor. But the thing is but how? You get what I'm saying? Like, how do you run out of ideas for such an iconic character would be my point. And they kind of just did. Marvel flat out was like, we don't have anything. And then sure enough, I think Jason Aaron took over the book, and then everyone's like, why did we ever stop Thor again? Thor's awesome. Yeah, Thor is awesome. And it's the same thing with Captain America. If you have that writer who wants to write it. Right now, the writer of Captain America is Ta-Nehisi Coates, and he is pitching a freaking shutout. He's throwing strikes right across the plate with the book. It's fantastic. Our boy Bob Quinn is on the book right now.
Bob Quinn, shout out BQ.
I don't know if he's going to be on it long term, but he's been on it the last couple. I think he said he's going to be on a few more. It's been fantastic, and I love the direction it's going, but I do love the character too.
Dope. Everybody loves Cap. It's got to mean something.
Courtney's answer, by the way, was He-Man and She-Ra.
Oh,
swing and a miss.
Good one though. Very good.
I have been remiss. I started working on. I've gotten further on Scorpion, by the way. I was working on Scorpion, and I missed some. We got a Cyborg, of course. My boy Hathaway loves Cyborg, and he draws a badass Cyborg. By the way, he draws badass.
Oh,
yeah, good one.
Rick's daughter's playing and wants to catch up here too.
All right, and she's got Katana. I like Katana. It's a good call. Black Widow, Captain Marvel, and Bumblebee.
All right, Bumblebee's a good one.
I'm going to be mentioning it on the podcast, but I just saw the movie Bumblebee last weekend.
I liked the Bumblebee.
It was good.
I haven't seen it yet.
Good. Yeah, I was a fan.
You don't like the live action Transformers, though, Delvin?
No, absolute horror show. But
okay, but this one was good.
My man, we got to get far afield again. That first 10 minutes on Cybertron, were you like me? Like, why couldn't it all have been like this?
when I saw the previews, and I'm like, oh my God, they actually look like Transformers. And
Looks right to me.
Some freaking crystal meth nightmare or something. You can see how they transform. Like, this is what the worst part of the movie was they linked it back to Transformers 1, and I'm like, why? Distance yourself from those movies. They were terrible.
Well, let's be fair. It was a loose link back.
It was.
Like, we're kind of linked to that universe.
But, man, Bumblebee was good.
Yeah, I liked it.
Especially considering you read Transformers 16, Jared.
I did, ?
Yes, you did. We did a show on it.
Yep. Yeah, let's hit the road. That one.
Yes. So, and I don't know if they even loosely based it off of Transformers 16, but it kind of felt like it a little bit.
I could see the vibe. Certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Man, thumbs up for Bumblebee, though. Really good movie.
Yeah, I liked it.
John Cena? Ooh. I wish we couldn't see him. And
I liked it. He was funny at least.
Was he in it? I didn't even know he was in it.
Yeah, I like John Cena a lot, but how they let it, apparently they were like, okay, act as woodenly as possible and action.
All right.
Oh, also, I don't know if have you guys seen the cartoon She-Ra? The new one.
No, huh?
Jared, has Johanna seen it?
Yes, she has seen it.
Okay. I just want to say
we try to keep things positive.
Yeah. Look, the theme song's catchy. That's all I'm saying. We're gonna win in the end. Like, yeah, we are gonna win in the end. Yes. Miranda watched it, and every time I heard it, I started every time she was skipping it. I'm like, whoa, wait, hey, what you doing, babe? What you doing? Let me
play the song. Oh my goodness, we got far afield there, but
we did.
I think it's Jason's number 3.
Is it 3 or 2?
2. Sorry,
2.
Number 2.
My number 2 is Captain America. And for much the same reason that we all always talked about, that we all just talked about, I think that Captain America to me encapsulates, all that's good and true in a hero. Probably the person that I most aspire to be and come up short. And I think that's what a good leader does, man. He inspires us to be better than we are. And I just remember, I think it was during the Siege storyline. There was this issue where all the villains gang up and just beat down Thor. And it's like the whole purpose of the villains beating down Thor is to beat down Thor and to have it. And Harry Osborn wants it televised so they can see, the most powerful, hero in the Marvel universe just brought to his knees, and they do it. They're beating him down on television, and I remember the Captain America watching it, and he's watching it, and not a word is said, no thought bubbles or anything. He just stands up, grabs the shield, and he's out the door, and you know what's coming next, and then there's a whole set of ass kicking. He's like, you getting your ass kicked, you getting your ass kicked, you getting your ass kicked. Take a number, I'll be coming to you. And he does. And to me, that's Captain America. Action, not words.
Okay, I gotta tell my favorite Cap moment now too, because it's very much in that vein, and I love it. I want to say it was in the Ultimate Universe during Ultimate Nightmare. Could be wrong. Doesn't matter. Cap is in a 40-story building, and he's in the penthouse, and I think it's aliens that are coming in from all sides. And I don't remember why they're defending this building, but it's the actual military outside defending it, and he's discussing at the penthouse what their strategy is going to be as the enemies are rolling in. It's very hectic and last minute, and they're like, okay, we got to do this, and they've got a radio there so they can hear the radio chatter. Mm-hmm. And they're in the middle of okay, we got to do this. You got to get this guy here. And then over the radio channel, you can hear the battle that's actually happening with the aliens. And it's just some random soldier who goes, we've got soldiers dying down here. And Cap looked at the radio, and the next scene is from the soldier's point of view, looking up that 40-story building, and Cap's boom, busting out the window from 40 stories up, coming through the glass with a shield. Nah, no soldiers are dying on my watch today. And I was like, that's dope right there. That's Cap, very much like the example you just gave.
Let's talk about movie universe Cap real quick. I remember when they did the casting for it, and then they would not. I can't remember other names that were under consideration, and then they made the decision and said Chris Evans, and I'm like, really, Chris Evans, the dude who's Human Torch? I don't know about that. Wrong.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you there. Yeah, I was not a fan of that casting, but I was like, they're pretty good.
Yeah, he nailed it. It was with Iron Man, people got to see Robert Downey Jr. bring that character to life. And and so much so that they kind of tweaked who Tony Stark was in the comic books to be kind of like the movie. They didn't really have to do that with Cap. Chris Evans brought so much of what Captain America was from the comic books to the page. They didn't even have to change Captain America's character in the comic book, because he was just enhanced by the movie universe version of it. And
I'm with you, man.
Oh yeah, and Rick is at Captain America picking up Thor's hammer.
Oh, that was
man. I remember that was I remember that happening in comics. I want to say around 89. Or 90 when he did that. Yeah. I remember Jason and I talked about we had the comic. We were in Germany. We were like, look at it. Yeah. Good that they worked that into the movie, because that was a great moment for us and when we were kids.
The build up to it, because they mentioned it offhand. I can't remember which movie where Cap picks up everyone's talking about who can pick up the hammer, and the hammer trembled a little bit.
Avengers 2, yeah.
And even Thor was
Ultron. Yep.
So when it happened in the movie, and those are just, it happened in the theater, and everyone just started clapping. You couldn't even hear what happened the next 30 seconds. People are just whooping and hollering. Oh, yeah. What a scene. What a scene. I had on my screensaver for my phone Captain America holding the hammer for probably about a year after that.
Yeah, that is definitely one of those iconic moments, that really, really, really stand out. And I even remember during the Avengers JLA crossover, because Superman was another character that was able to pick up Thor's hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And
makes sense.
And there was that scene with Superman holding Captain America's shield in one hand and Thor's hammer in the other. That was pretty cool as well.
Drawn by George Perez.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, definitely. Captain America is one of those characters that every time you see him, you just know it's going to be something inspiring. And I'm glad you brought up that point about Chris Evans too, because I felt the same way. I was like, that's kind of weird to have the Human Torch guy play Captain America.
Since we love getting off track on this show, back then, do you remember who you wanted? Because I still remember who I wanted.
I don't.
And the sad part is he's not American. I was really big on Guy Pearce from Memento, Rules of Engagement, Lockdown,
and Iron Man 3.
And Iron Man 3, yeah, because I liked him because he was in real good shape. He had that chiseled jaw look. He looked like Cap to me. And he was a little older, because I've always imagined Cap as a little older. Like, if all the Avengers were, quote unquote, in their mid-30s, that Cap would be like in his mid-40s. So my ultimate casting in my head is Kurt Russell and Soldier.
Yeah.
Like, if I could capture that moment in time and make him Cap, I would. But that's who I was thinking was Guy Pearce back in the day. I'd be interested in what you guys might have been thinking if you can remember.
GL had a question from way back about 10 minutes ago, said, you can make a superhero TV show. What's your pick? And I figured that's one that you guys might want to talk about.
Ooh. Well, I tell you what, it's going to play nicely. I'm the only guy who hasn't given my number 2 yet, and that's going to be the answer.
Go ahead. Transition.
So here we go. You know the answer, Delvin.
Booster Gold?
Booster freaking Gold. Well, that'd be a great TV show, man.
That would be a good TV show.
So, yes, Booster Gold is my number 2 hero. And I would make him my TV show just because I love kind of the misunderstood hero. Everybody on the surface level thinks he's kind of a scumbag, and he kind of started out a scumbag. And I share those qualities. But like, there's something inside of me that I like the characters like that, or like Guy Gardner, who's kind of unlikable, but then when the times get tough and you need a hero to stand up and somebody who will not abandon his friends, it's Guy Gardner. And Booster's the same way. If a lot of people, it's funny to me is a lot of people see Booster Gold, and if they haven't really read him a lot, even your readers, not just the characters in the universe, but readers think he's a shallow character. And it's like, I tell everybody, if you read just one issue, just read the one where because he's a time jumper in DC. Read the one where he tries to save Barbara Gordon. It makes me cry when I read it. He tried so hard to save her. He did everything, and it broke him. And it's a hard read, and it's just like, that's Booster Gold. He just wouldn't stop trying till it broke him.
I read that. That was from his series, right?
Yeah, I think it was the Jeff Johns on the second run. I want to say it was around issue 6 or 7. Oh man, I already loved Booster Gold by then, because he's funny and he's different. He didn't start out as noble, but to me, I like to watch a hero who became noble rather than one that already is. Nothing wrong with that. Superman's noble, but what I find most fascinating about Superman is Ma and Pa Kent. They made him what he is. If he lands in any other field, he may not be what he is.
Yeah.
It's Superman is the story of great parenting, is what I tell everybody. When you're a kid, you think it's a story of an alien super being, but when you get older, you start realizing it's a story of good parenting. Anyway, I got deep on you there, but I love Booster Gold. The time hopping thing would be great. I love Quantum Leap. You see the connection. But yeah,
no, I think that would be a great show. I'd definitely watch it. For me, it would be. I would like to see a television adaptation of Matt Fraction's Hawkeye. I think that Hawkeye storyline would be it would be so much fun, especially if you had Kate Bishop and Clint Barton in there.
I know nothing about that, but I know what he did on. I know what he did on Iron Fist, and he made Iron Fist must read for me. So if he did that for Hawkeye, I could see it. I haven't read it. So.
Yeah, both Iron Fist and Hawkeye were must reads for me.
Yeah, there's just something about how he portrayed, like Hawkeye was.
He's like an everyman hero, like barbecuing with his neighbors up on top of the roof of the building, and
he was cavalier. He was kind of like a daredevil. He was kind of a loser a little bit.
Yeah.
I know those very like early appearances, he was all about giving Captain America crap.
Yeah, he was a bad guy at first, you know. That was his introduction. He was, and turned out to be the misunderstood guy. If I went,
and Captain America understood him and gave him a shot.
Yeah,
and Hawkeye didn't let him down.
If I had to think of a show that I would give treatment to, like I thought of Nightwing. I don't think they've done a good Nightwing.
Oh yes, I approve of this.
Like if they did a good Nightwing story, based it out of Bloodhaven, had some young up and coming actor with some comedic chops. No, not really comedic, but you know, could pull off the handsome, athletic, you know, quick with a quip. I think they'd have a good storyline because now that you've seen what's possible with, you know, the MCU coming out with Daredevil, and Daredevil was just amazing in a lot of ways. Man, coming up with an acrobatic fighter like a Nightwing would be a very fun thing for me to watch. Gene says, get Chuck Dixon to write a Nightwing show, and I'm there. I think a lot of people would be there, dude.
Verified.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah, Chuck Dixon is the guy on Batman. I mean, there's plenty of guys, but he is definitely he would be top 5 in anyone's list of how he defined the Batverse.
I remember being in college and Delvin and I discussing, you got to remember this was late 90s, but I remember we were big on Mark Wahlberg as Nightwing. And, you know, he's much older now, but something in that vibe, like Delvin was saying, something action-y, but can kind of step up a little comedically every once in a while. That would be great. I would watch your show, Delvin.
Nice. Now
I'm approving it.
Who could be cast? I'm not good at that. At who would be the cast person?
Oh, yeah, I'm not good at it anymore either because I'm an old man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know who's out there anymore.
I'm all like Clint Eastwood. The dude turned 90, you know.
Still.
Christopher Walken. Christopher Walken. Oh, I'm the prodigy of Batman.
But I'm my own man. Oh, wait, that's more like John Travolta.
My boy Mark Hatherley is in for Nightwing. I have not been paying attention to the chat, so I'm just going to assume you all said some really cool things.
No, I've been going back and forth. Rick gave you a big amen, Jason, for your comments about your show.
I know
Hawkeye.
Rick is big on the Hawkeye thing. Yeah, he and I have talked about that before.
Where are we? Has everyone given their number 2?
We've all dropped our number 2.
Yeah, we've all dropped our deuce.
I got wrapped up in doing a glowing effect around Scorpion here, so I'm almost done. Somebody else hosts the show for about 45 seconds.
All right. So, Jason, you want to give your number 1 then? Who's your number 1 superhero? The one who does it for you, the straw that stirs the drink.
The drink?
Yes.
For me, the Badger.
I wouldn't say no to that.
The Badger's cool, man. Yeah, I thought very hard about putting him in my top 5. Now, my number 1 is Wolverine. Still my
Wolvie.
Yeah, still Logan, still Weapon X.
Nickety Snick.
I mean, that's a character that I've just grown to love. I fell in love with Wolverine back when I was reading in high school, and just, you know, his history, his you know, his character. There's so much depth. He's got a great rogues gallery, and yeah, I mean, whether he's with the X-Men or by himself, I mean, it's just a noble hero, a violent hero. Some would call him an anti-hero, but I don't know, just something about him that whenever Wolverine's in the book, it makes me want to pick it up. So Wolverine's still my number 1.
Do you enjoy his early appearances, like we're talking about in Crusader Chronicles?
You know, the earlier ones, you know, they're still trying to find their footing with him. I think, you know, where we are now, in Crusader Chronicles, we're starting to see Claremont and Byrne starting to work, work that magic. But I think it's really after Frank Miller and Chris Claremont's run on the Wolverine limited series where they really figure it out, where they set it in Japan and his love story and everything. That I think that's where it takes off for me.
I certainly like Logan a lot more now than at first, because I've mentioned a few times, he originally just came across as just a kind of a homicidal jerk, just like
turd. He's just a turd.
Yeah, just a turd.
Kind of an arrogant jackass.
Yeah. Not even a love to hate. But there have been some sightings of that personality that's to come, where he's the gruff guy and he might do things a little bit dirty, but like he's the one that you want on your side. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I remember reading the Wolverine limited series, and the first time that he fights Mariko's father, and his father like whoops him pretty bad and leaves him like, he's like half dead. And if not for his healing abilities, he would have been dead. And his father, Mariko's father is like, makes a comment that he's not even worthy of his daughter, or the fight that they're going to have. And then through the story, he becomes stronger. He remembers who he is, and then he faces off against him, and he asks him, "Do you think I'm worthy now?" And then he just whoops up on Mariko's dad. That was to me, just watching that journey, really kind of set the tone for the character, and that's the character that I grew to love throughout the years. Another one was the Kitty Pryde and Wolverine miniseries, when he has to help Kitty Pryde through pretty tough time, and so he's there for her in his own way, and as she's fighting that possession, or whatever it was that had taken her over. I just remember him. He sits there with his sword, like at the foot of her bed, just protecting her until she's through it. And then he makes her come back. He trains her back, and that's set a relationship that goes on today. A very much father-daughter relationship between the two of them.
Nice. We have some number ones to pass along. Let's see. We have Rick. His number one is Spider-Man. The Duchess. Her number one is Batman. Derek's is Superman. Chola's is She-Ra. And Papa Wolf's is Voltron's Hunk. Who's Voltron's Hunk? Is that like the number? Is that the leader of Voltron? We'll get an answer from that. Chris?
I don't have strong Voltron knowledge.
Yep. Chris has Spider-Man. Gene is Quasar. Wendell Vaughn and his wife's is Batman. GL's is Jack Monroe. Nomad from back in the day.
Any relation to Aurora?
Oreo? Let's see. He says, "Don't judge me. Pick up by Captain America to someday be a symbol if all is right. Jack finds out he's not and struggles to find his path, making mistakes along the way."
Oh, see, that's that Booster Gold story, man. Me and GL, man, we like to watch the heroes rise.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yep. Courtney wants her pick is Wonder Woman because she's strong, like Courtney is, and she handles her everyday fight against kidney disease, and she is a real life Wonder Woman.
You damn right she is.
You're right. Yeah. Wonder Woman's fiction, Courtney. You're real, man.
Right. And Wonder Woman is an awesome character. I love how it's been a while ago that they fully established, because I guess there were questions, and they fully established her as the number 2 strongest person in the DC universe, and that's been canon for quite some time. Like, she is just every bit the warrior of that Superman is, and she can hold her own against Superman or anyone else. So that's awesome. Let's see. Mark has Superman as well. Let's see. Man, we got a lot of contributions on this. That's cool.
Fired up, man.
Hunk is the pilot of the Yellow Lion. I did not know that. I remember watching the Voltron cartoon back in the day, and you could have given me a list of names. I would have told you none of them. I remember the lions. That was it. Jared, you ready? You want to give us your number 1?
I am just about done. Like, just doing details now. Scorpion.
Oh, nice.
So
very nice.
It's gonna link up with a page with Sub-Zero. It'll all make sense. Anyways, yes, my number 1, to no one's surprise, who's known me, is Batman. You went to the NES video game theme song. I am a Batman guy. Batman is, I just love him. I really discovered Batman around 87, 88 when Jason and I got to Germany. I want to say it was, I know Jim Aparo was drawing it. Who was the writer? Was it Starlin? Yeah. I think it was
Starlin. Yeah. Starlin, like around the Death in the Family type.
Yeah. What happened was they came together to do this like murder mystery for a serial killer. It was like killing beautiful women and leaving their bodies in the dumpsters. And then they did that issue. And then they're like, well, here's 10 Nights of the Beast. And you had to wait until that series was over to get the conclusion to that one. And what a great wait, though, because 10 Nights of the Beast was like, what? That was like great. And this was, this had to be right as we're creeping up on 1989, which is the summer of Batman. And, I'm 12, 13 years old, and it's just the perfect storm of Batman. I'm the biggest Prince fan you're ever going to meet. 1989, Prince's Batman album comes out. It's like,
Jared.
Yes.
Another summer.
In honor of Pat. So yeah, I think somewhere in that Batmania of 89, it just, the music, the movie, not long after that, one of the greatest cartoons ever comes out with the Bruce Timm Batman adventures. It's just that whole thing got me, and it's never let go. So number 1, The Dark Knight, Batman.
Gene wants to add that Mike and Andy over on Overlooked Dark Knight are covering that exact run right now, Jared.
Oh yeah, if you overlooked 10 Nights of the Beast, don't. The only thing I didn't like about it is they do this in comics all the time. They introduce a new villain who's just like, whoa. And then the next appearance, they just kind of get their butts handed to them easily. Like, they depower new villains really quickly. I mean, how long was it before, after Nightfall, that, Batman's routinely just putting Bane down without an issue? Fair that it's Batman. Once he's had experience with somebody, he does get better.
Yeah.
So you could say that. But, man, when the KGB showed up, man, it was like that dude cut off his own hand to get away from Batman, if you remember correctly.
Yep. And then made him like a badass machine guns, knife
hang on it.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. Bane did get some comeuppance in the Tom King run of Batman. I know you guys aren't super into the current run. Bane got a little bit of comeback as a alpha level villain of Batman's,
as he should, but like KGB's definitely got kind of put on the back burner. I've never really seen him resurge like that, but
yeah,
at the end of the day, I'm a Batman guy. That's who I am. That's who's on my keychain. That's who's on my, I got my iPad cover right here, and it's Batman. And I'm just 1989 got a hold of me, boys, and it never let go.
Yep.
So Jason's all about Wolverine. I'm all about Batman, and that only leaves one. I don't know what it could possibly be.
Yeah, absolutely transparently, it is the Amazing Spider-Man for me as my number 1. And I wish I could tell you exactly when that love affair started with Spider-Man. Spider-Man was the first mainstream Marvel comic I collected. I started with Transformers, and some of my favorite times as a kid were going to the grocery store with my mom. She'd go do the shopping. I would immediately beeline towards the comic books and sit there and read it, and it had to start somewhere around then. And around the 340s or so of Amazing Spider-Man is when I started collecting the adventures of Peter Parker. And I could go on about the story and all that, but I mean, he's my guy. He is the one that he always will shoulder that burden of responsibility. And I love how in recent storylines, when they do the big crossovers, there was one where they got to look at Spider-Man. He's just out there just doing everything he can, every ounce of his power to make sure that everybody was protected. And I think it was maybe Tony Stark was like, or maybe even Captain America. I can't remember. One of them was just like, he is the best of us. And because just his absolute selflessness, and he will put his life on the line just to save one other person. And just, I could come up with so many different examples, but I know Jared's heard me say this, like, if I ever stop collecting Amazing Spider-Man, I'm done with comics, period. And there was only one time where I even came close to dropping in, and I don't even have to dwell into the negative of when that was, but it was in the 90s. And had to do with Howard Mackie and John Byrne. Oh my God, it was terrible. But Spidey just as far as the character he is. There's one other moment that was cool too, is when they put the Avengers against the X-Men, and the X-Men, 5 of them were possessed with a fifth of the Phoenix Force power, and Spider-Man is in between. Who was it? It was Colossus and another, and he is just getting destroyed. Like there's no way he could win that fight, but he kept taking the abuse, and he got the 2 most powerful Phoenix characters to turn on each other, and because that's part of Spidey's weaponry is his mouth. He got them to doubt each other, and then turn on each other, and they eventually wound up taking each other out. And that's Spider-Man. He is witty. He's powerful. He is just a person you want on your side. He's always going to do the right thing. Always love my boy Pete. Always.
Can't argue with that. I love Spidey too.
Jason didn't. That's why he just disappeared.
Yeah.
Did not.
He probably had somebody come over. I'll pull him from the stream.
Yeah.
And he may pop back in at the very end, which is kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
We have made our rounds, and just to remind everyone,
I'm laughing. Sorry to interrupt, Jared. Courtney says she wants me to dress like Spider-Man for Halloween. I would be a big ass Spider-Man. I'm more of Captain America's size than I am Spider-Man. Spider-Man in canon is about 5'10", $175. He's not a big dude. Anyway, sorry, Jared. Go ahead, man.
That's all right. We're discussing the merits of Delvin dressing up as Spider-Man for Halloween, Jason.
Ah, very cool.
So we have made it through our top 5. It all started with Storm, Lord Baltimore, and Captain America. Then it went to Batman, and Spider-Man as our number 4 round. Optimus Prime, Spider-Man, and Nightwing for 3. Our number 2 round was Cap, and Booster Gold. And our number 1 round was Spidey, Batman, and Wolverine.
There's one thing I forgot to talk about Spider-Man. I would be absolutely remiss on this show if I didn't. That's the whole reason I'm on Crusader Chronicles and the Longbox Crusade Network in the first place. Because Jared was like, dude, come on and like do some podcasts. And I'm like, no. And then months later, he was like, dude, like, just come on. Like, we need somebody that knows Spider-Man to talk about Spider-Man. Like, just come on and talk, for an episode or so. I'm like, okay. And I did. And I'm still here.
Would not leave.
Did not leave. So, yeah, Spidey's the reason that I'm here.
Well, you'll be happy to know this, Delvin. After running the aggregate point values between all three of us, our number one character would be Spider-Man.
Woo!
And we have a tie for second and third place for Batman and Captain America. Because at the points totaled out, Spidey got 10 points, and Batman and Cap both got 9.
Nice. That's probably about the way it should be, I think. I think all is right with the world.
So Delvin had mentioned a Mount Rushmore of superheroes. I think we've got 3 of them, boys. Spidey.
That could be a
Batman,
whole nother episode.
And Cap.
Yeah.
I couldn't turn down Spidey, Batman,
Or
Cap. Couldn't turn down Superman.
That's where it gets hard.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Couldn't turn down Wonder Woman at all.
Oh, gosh. It really would come down between Superman and Wonder Woman for my 4th slot, I think.
Could you do like a half and half?
I clearly like Booster Gold and stuff, but like you said, the whole Mount Rushmore thing is another question. It's like, I think Cap, Batman, and Spidey's a good start. It's really at your 4th slot.
Yeah,
Oh, but I think I'd have to go Superman just because he was the guy, the first.
I mean, that is,
you gotta have Superman up there. I mean, you have to.
That's a whole thing.
It's like not having George Washington.
It's like Superman. He's the guy.
He's the guy.
Yeah, you can't have a Mount Rushmore of comic books without Superman. You can't.
No, you can't. You can't.
There's Quasar. I'm just kidding.
We had some ideas about Halloween costumes. GL wants Jason to dress as Storm.
She'd kill for my thighs, man.
Jason.
Why
does Storm sound like Mary Jane? I did a weird thing there.
Your thighs look amazing.
It's Storm.
Hey, Duchess, you got it. You got it, Duchess.
What's that?
She said, I have to dress as Batman. Can do, have done. I've done it before.
Got it still in the closet.
Can do, will do.
Did you highlight the one who Courtney said we have to do a top 5 villains?
Ooh, I think we have our plan for next month's episode.
Yeah, you may have just given us something to do, Courtney, and to me that's a harder list than the heroes.
Yes.
I don't know.
Got a few that have jumped to mind. No, I think Jason's going to put on his costume. This is the kind of it's the level you get here. All right, bye to Jason. I'll take him out of the stream for now. Okay, so this will be your last chance, by the way, if you wanted to win the DVD, which is an unopened copy of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
The League.
I have right now. I think I just have Courtney and Chola. If I missed somebody, please speak up and say, "Give me that DVD" in the chat within the next couple minutes. We're going to wind it down here. In fact, while we're waiting on that, because I definitely did get distracted working on my art piece here.
Yeah.
We'll make sure that we got you in there. Let's talk about our Crusaders Club member who's going to win today. What they're going to win. Again, if you join the Crusaders Club and get us to 32 patrons, using the link at the bottom of the screen, Delvin and I are going to watch Star Wars Holiday Special. And we will do an episode. I see my boy Mark has put in for the DVD.
Mark did. Rick did. Duchess did as well. And GL did as well.
Okay, good. Now we get 6. Okay. Cool. So if you are a Crusaders Club member, you don't have to be present at these to win. You're just going to win stuff every time we do one. You're going to get randomly picked. So let me pull up our patron list in the background and pull up a randomizer. All right. There they are. And our Crusaders Club member is going to win the first full season of Wonder Woman starring Linda Carter on DVD. And oh wait, high priority things. Never mind. And I think this is the very last one of these I have. We've given a few of these away. We have the whole decals.
Oh, nice.
the Transformers decals. So the Crusaders Club member who doesn't have to be here to win. One of the benefits if you're a member, things show up at your house. There you have it. And let me just
Duchess, the answer to your question is if you're listening to the live stream for the league, no, you do not have to be a member to participate. But every time that we do one of these live streams, we do an extra drawing for Crusader Club members to give them an additional opportunity to win some stuff.
That's right. We want to just accept it, please. Oh, this is fun. They've decided to be like, hey, verify this device to log into blah, 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 blah.
Ain't technology fun?
Mm-hmm. And so they send a verify this device to contact@longboxcrusade.com, which I can't open, only Pat can. So, all right. But that all is not. I was going to check to see if we had any late additions, but I have the old list right here. So I will not be foiled, sir.
Duchess, to become a member, while Jared's looking it up, to become a member, please go to patreon.com and search for Longbox Crusade, and you will find us there. You could join for as little as $1 a month. And we like to think that we work pretty hard for the money. Is that Donna Summer? She works hard for the money. Yeah, we work hard for the money, put out a lot of shows. There's a newsletter that comes up once a millennia. That newsletter should actually be going out either today or tomorrow. And some other content that we put on the page and whatnot. And we just want you to come along to the fun. So if you join us, we'd love to have you. It's just $1 a month. The only person who can't join is Jason.
That's right. All right, I've got the names randomized, Delvin, so you can pick any number you like between 1 and 29.
17.
17 is a big shout out and congratulations to Mr. Steve Cronin.
Nice.
Steve's a nice cat. We got to meet him last year at Heroes Con.
We did. Hope to meet him again.
There we have it. So Steve Cronin is the big winner of the
Wonder Woman
and the Transformers decals.
I'm an Autobot at heart.
There we go. And let's get the last giveaway done. Oh, let's get Jason back in. Jason's back in.
Jason, you had there was an idea given by Duchess. I think she said she wanted you to dress as Cartman.
Cartman.
That was Catman. That was
Catman.
Oh, Catman. Let's see what the Catman do.
All right, Jason, welcome back. Pick a number between 1 and 6 for League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
4 to 4.
And this one is going to whatever this name is written down that I can't read. Oh, it's Mark. I was like, Mac. Who the hell is Mac?
Mac the Knife.
My own handwriting.
Oh, that chalk.
My boy Mark Hatherley.
Shows them pearly whites.
So this is floating its way to Bermuda as soon as the shipping costs go down, Mark. You know what I'm talking about. So eventually, someday, Mark, you'll get your DVD. You just got to want it to happen.
I've got to let a cat out. I'll be right back.
Jason's up and down. We're closing out the show, man. All right. Well, and that does, with Jason wandering off into the distance, bring us to the end of today's live stream. We've had a lot of fun with you guys. Thanks for being here in the chat. Remember, patreon.com/longboxcrusade for as little as $1 a month, like Delvin just said. We hit those 32 patrons. We're going to do that special episode. Delvin and I will suffer for you all. Oh. I've never seen it, but I've heard to be careful.
Well, was it? I think Rick said B. Arthur singing.
Yeah, I saw. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I've heard that B. Arthur was a part of it. So
She is a part of it. Yep.
yikes. I mean, I like B. Arthur, but singing Star Wars B. Arthur. This is not a this is not a formula that sounds correct.
It is not a formula that is correct. By any stretch of the imagination, is this the formula that is correct?
Well, if you haven't already, please like today's video. Please subscribe to us on YouTube, Longbox Crusade. That's all you got to do. You're already there, so give it a subscription. Unless you're watching via Periscope, then head on over to YouTube and give us a like and a subscribe. We would appreciate it. Delvin, parting words.
I always laugh. I swear the show starts and I'm like, man, are we going to be able to get like a decent amount of content in? Next thing I know, it's like, holy crap, we've been on for an hour and a half. Like it always goes like that. This is a lot of fun. We had consistently 10 people show up and party along with us. And really, even though we would do it for ourselves, it makes it a lot of fun that anybody comes along and wants to spend a little bit of time with us. I sincerely appreciate it, and it makes these afternoons absolutely worth it.
I concur. Jason, final words.
Oh, I just want to thank everybody that shows up and continues to support us. Like Delvin, I always worry, like, how are we going to fill 2 hours? And we always seem to do it. And it's really enjoyable having you folks come in here and participate in the chat. We've got a lot of good shows lined up. We've got new shows lined up. We've got the classics still coming out. So we hope you all are enjoying that. And, let us know what you think. Give us a review. Let us know what you like. What you don't like, what we can improve. We just want to keep getting better. So, thanks for listening. And as long as you keep listening, we'll keep making. Well, you know what? We're gonna keep making them whether you listen.
Either way,
either way. But it is good that you guys listen, and we love you for it. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you guys so much. And I'll look forward to chatting with you guys again soon. If not here, then join me over on my channel, Yard Sale Artist. And yeah, these guys show up there from time to time too. It's always a good time. And we'll see everybody later. So everybody, goodbye, and do the thing where you act frozen.